machine is on the march again.
Come here. Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes. Good morning, Foxes. How the devil are you today? How's your weekend been so far? It's been a long week, hasn't it, in football? They always say football can be a very long time, a very long week. Well, it has been extremely long week. We've had to wait and wait and wait. But you know what day it is? It's Sunday. It's 9:30 a.m. So it's time for the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, run by us fans for you fans out there. And you know what? Your opinion matters. So get them comments in now. Let's get going. It's kickoff time. Come on, you Foxes.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content, like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live. Thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Follow Blinds, Pocker Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hologram, Take Me, Nubian Co, and the Foxes Arms and Rainbows. We are live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everyone. What I was meant to say is a week is a long time in football. That's what I was trying to say, but I couldn't get my words in the right order. I think I had somebody else's teeth in. Everyone's morning, all. Craig, morning. How are you, pal? Chris, how are you? Will he do it again? I don't know. Dawn, morning. How are you? Dara, how are you? Could be a 15-point deduction. Morning, Gray. Yes, how are you, Mr. Richardson? I hope you're well. I hope you're fine. Let's bring in the first one of our two guests this morning. You know who these two guests are going to be. One is Reedy. Morning, Reedy. How are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, mate. Like I say, a week's a long time in football, isn't it, pal? Not a lot's happened, has it?
Well, other than just every day of saying that Enzo's going to sign and nothing's actually happened yet, which is brilliant. But yeah, hopefully it gets done at some point because it's starting to just get a bit too long now. So we need to get it done so then we can get a new manager in, or which the question is today, if we don't go, what's going to happen?
Yeah, like last week I was quoting the Clash song, Should He Stay or Should He Go? This week I'm quoting Shakespeare, to back Enzo or not to back Enzo? That is the question. What is going to happen? Let me just bring Locks in on that point. Morning, Locks. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Let's start with this question for you. Like I've just said, to back Enzo or not to back Enzo? It's dragging on a little bit, isn't it, pal? If it all falls apart and Enzo is still our manager, how are the fans going to react?
I mean, it won't fall apart, but if it did, yeah, I don't think the fans would welcome him back. It's not like one of these things where you something like McKenna, for example. You hear of McKenna's representatives have been speaking to other clubs. It is quite obvious that Enzo is been. I think the kids these days say something like he's been twerking. Enzo's been twerking for this job. That's what they say, mate. That's what the kids say these days. The Enzo's been twerking for Chelsea, basically saying, "Come and get me." So, I don't think he'd be welcome back in any way, shape, or form. So his move better go ahead because he's not coming back to the King Power.
Well, yeah,
in fact,
he will do.
Well, he will because we can't afford to sack him. So
he will be back at the King Power when he plays with Chelsea
on the first day of the season, probably.
Yeah,
well, that's Sod's Law, wouldn't it? That would be Sod's Law. I mean, Jordan Blackwell of the Leicester Mercury has put his first line was just when it looked like Enzo Maresca's projected move to Leicester to Chelsea would be announced. The silence is deafening from both the East Midlands club and West Midlands club. That's the thing I'm worried about. There's been nothing from Leicester about anything whatsoever. And I've been saying this for months, years. It's the silence is absolutely deafening from the club, reader. Nothing's come from the club whatsoever. But are we just waiting for it to happen?
Well, the only thing that's come from the club is them saying about Enzo Maresca's boys are back in the Premier League. So you don't know what, do you? So
I think the admin messed about there, didn't they? That's you with one of your your typos occasionally as well, isn't it?
Yeah. It's annoying. We all said, like, when we first heard about it, and it all kind of got agreed quite quickly. We were like, finally, it can be done. We can get a new manager in. We can sort this out very quickly. And now it's just dragging on because we can't get a new manager in until Enzo's officially been announced and gone to Chelsea now. So, and then it all depends on who we get next. It's a difficult one because if this contract's all falls through, I can't see any Leicester fan backing Enzo anymore. I won't, because his head's turned. He's basically said, yes, I want this job.
Yeah.
So what if it's like in any sort of work, like if you go to a job and you say you want it but you don't get it, you go back to your old job and you'll be like, I don't know, it feels a bit sly in a way.
I mean, Locks, if he comes back, say if it falls through and he comes back, every Leicester fan will be thinking, well, what happens when the next big job comes available? What happens, say, if Spurs' job comes available or the Man United job comes available? Everyone, and then Enzo's going to be mentioned in there. Surely it's going to ruin his reputation of what he's already done. If he keeps moving from club to club, it's not the best look on the CV, is it? 1 year here, 1 year there.
Well, some managers have made it work. Some managers have made that work. That kind of journeyman, I think they call it, journeyman type of manager. I think, for me, there's no doubt. Like Enzo will be at Chelsea. I think, I've seen people say it's to do with sorting out the compensation package to Leicester, and also because he's on holiday, he can't really do much of all of the media type of stuff. Like the interviews and the videos that all go out. You would hope. I know we've thrown a lot at Top and Rodkin over the last couple of years, but I would have thought that they've already began their manager search. Basically, they're doing it. Well, I think they're already doing it all. I believe they're probably already doing it all, and then once Enzo officially signs for Chelsea, then they can finalize everything with a new manager. I'm not too concerned about the time just yet because Enzo last season wasn't appointed until the 16th of June. And then even then, he didn't start straight away like the players didn't, because the players are obviously not back from pre-season yet, out from their holidays yet. So I'm not concerned about time because look at how much, let's be honest, right? No matter what you thought of Enzo, look how much he managed to get done between the 16th of June and when the season started in the Championship. He got the players playing the way he wanted to quite quickly. I think there's still plenty of time. And yeah, so I'm not panicking just yet. Another couple of weeks, I would say 2 more weeks. I think by then you want to pretty much have a new manager sorted out. Basically,
I remember rightly, the season starts 2 weeks later than the Premier League season starts 2 weeks later than it did last year, doesn't it? So
exactly, and now it's 3 weeks because the Championship started a week early, so it's basically 3 weeks later than what it did last year for us. So we've got 2 weeks until Enzo was appointed last year, and then we've also got then another 3 weeks, and between the season starting. So we've got plenty of time. I'm not concerned about that whatsoever.
See, Carlos is saying we need a new manager now.
I don't think so.
But we've still got a manager. At the minute, we still have a manager.
And we've got no players here anyway. So what's he going to be able to do?
I know. But you know what? It'd be the Leicester thing that we still will have a temporary manager the first game of the season.
I think what we're all saying is, yes, we need a new manager, but that we just need the Enzo thing to go through quicker. That's the difference. We could have a new manager already in place, but we don't know that.
This is the thing as well. What Wayne said, big worry is who will be left out of the current. Oh, sorry, I misread that one. I'm thinking he was on about the people that are out of contracts. Are they going to wait to renew to see who the manager is? Because they've only got to the end of this month, haven't they? The ones that renew, or is it run out just now? Yesterday, did it?
No, end of June. End of June.
So they've only got that to And are they going to warm to him? Are they going? That's what I mean. Who do we want out of them 6 that are going? Because Vestergaard was an important part this year. Jamie Vardy is always going to be an important part of the club, no matter what. Wilf Ndidi, Dennis Pratt won't be here. He will go because he won't. But people like Harry Souttar, Christensen, Bakary Soumare, are they going to get a new chance under the new manager? Will they get a chance in the Premier League?
Depends who it is.
That's why I think we need this sorted out as soon as possible. I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, Locks, about the time. There is still time. But we still need someone in as soon as possible, not leaving it as late as possible, like normal.
I think, to be fair, like with a lot of the players now, it's a bit different to last summer. You know, when last summer Enzo had to convince a couple players to stay around, which he did. I think like Ndidi, Iheanacho, and Vestergaard, he convinced them to stay at the club for another year. But the reason I think it's different this year is because, you know, footballers, you know, they just want to play in the Premier League. And I think a couple of them that you mentioned will just be like, you know, it's another shot in the Premier League. So I'm not saying they'll all sign. You know, I have my worries. I think Vestergaard might sign because of the tweet from, who was it? Was that Jordan? No, who was that? Was it John Percy? John Percy. I know that was before Enzo was linked away, but I still think Vestergaard might sign a new deal. The one I'm more concerned about maybe is Ndidi. I'm not bothered about Iheanacho. He can go. That's fine in my eyes. Vardy, again, he'll probably sign. He probably won't be affected by Enzo leaving, but I wouldn't be too upset if he left. No effect. Like, you know, Vardy's not a legend, but he's not going to be. He's not Jamie Vardy 5 years ago. You know, I'm not bothered if. You know, I'd be upset if he leaves, but I wouldn't be. I'm not going to be like, oh, we're going to get relegated just because Vardy's not here, right? So, but Ndidi, I think, still has maybe something, just something more, maybe to finish at Leicester.
There was talk about him going Fenerbahce, wasn't there? Was it Fenerbahce?
Yeah, now.
Yeah. So, is that going to be a draw for Wilf to go and play with a special one?
Yeah.
Maybe so.
But, Gray,
I don't
your
think
mouth out, Locks, because you said you're not bothered about Vardy leaving.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you walk. It's like the Leicester City version of trying to be politically correct when you talk about Vardy. I think, mate.
Well,
you can't say certain things.
Careful, don't you?
I'd be sad of him leaving because it's Vardy and he's leaving, but Vardy is not going to make or break our season next year. So
I think I completely disagree with that. I think he'll be the main reason we stay up.
How many goals did he score in the Premier League last year, mate? Come on.
Well, I couldn't tell you, but I've already said, likes of Burnley, when they come up, they ain't got any so-called Premier League striker. He'll be the main one for us next year to score the goals.
Well, we've got to hope we hope he signs again, but he will be a big influence behind the scenes as well, won't he? But going on to the manager part, I think this is going to be a big call, whoever comes in. Because there's 4, maybe 5 names really mentioned. I know you did your video, Locks, on Carlos Corberán, the West Brom manager, the other night, Locks. He's the favourite at the minute. According to the bookies, he's the favourite. But then you've got second favourite of Steve Cooper, third favourite of Graham Potter, fourth favourite Maurizio Sarri. So you've got 2 ex-Chelsea players.
Managers,
sorry, yeah. And then the 5th one, which is a bit of a shot in the dark, I think, Ruud van Nistelrooy, but he's now slipped away a little bit.
I have heard the links to it, yeah.
He's now got out to 7-1, so he's now 5th favourite. I mean, 4 of them are out of work. There's only one that will cost us money, Carlos Corberán.
And it's the one that somebody wants.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but people keep talking about compensation, but like, we're getting 14 million for Enzo and his staff. Like,
that 14 million will be straight into the coffers, into the accounts, I'm afraid. That money,
well, if the club, well, if the club want to go down the cheap route, then go for it. Go, you know, Rudkin, top, go. You know, do what you want to do, mate. If you want to, if the manager isn't that important and you want to go down the cheap option, bring in Oscar Garcia from Leuven. Just do that.
Oh yeah, what about him?
Save your money, do that, and you can just head back down to the Championship, and then you'll be spending more money to sack the manager and then bringing in another manager. It's pathetic. You think it's like what happened?
The only thing I can see what we can do is the financial fair play rules and this PSF, whatever it's called, is all changing. They're changing the rules this year. I don't know how they changed them, but I think we ought to go shit or bust to stay up. And when the rules change next season, we'll be in line with the rules. That's the way to look at it.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
You go shit or bust, that's it. Spend a fortune, and hopefully you stay up. If you don't, then you're knackered, of course. But stay up.
That's one way of doing it.
Well, they weren't doing it though, because we could have gone shit or bust last season when we got relegated. You know, we broke FFP anyway, but we were struggling and getting our pennies together to sign, you know, players. So it's just, you know, this is all on the ownership and the director of football. They've got us in this mess. People don't like slagging off Top, but I'm sorry, Top is the one running this club. He's the one who's been in charge. People will keep saying it's Rudkin and Whelan only who have ruined the club and not Top. I don't get it. You know, if look, when Brendan Rodgers didn't get sacked, we blamed the people above him. So when Rudkin's an idiot for 4 years longer, why do we not blame the guy above him? You know, Top is the one keeping this moron in charge. So now I'm sorry, Top is the moron. He's putting his faith in this man, Rudkin, every single year after year, mistake after mistake, and people are just like, oh no, but you know, it's Top, you know, it's not Top's fault, it's Rudkin's fault. Well, who's the man who can sack Rudkin? It's the man who they swan off to the bloody horses together. You know what I mean? Yeah, there you go. Rudkin's scrubbing the horses and all that for Top. It's a joke, mate. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke.
Well, actually, I think we can ask Matthew Bond about who scrubs the horses for Top, to be honest, because he used to drive the horses about. But yeah, I know what you mean. Rudkin doesn't. Wayne says Rudkin does need to go. Defo lot. You know what? We need that director of football.
Yes.
John Rudkin used to be an assistant manager in the academy, didn't he?
I think he did I think he was even more niche than that at some point. I think he was making the beds for the academy players, mate. I think that's what Rudkin started as.
He's been there absolutely donkey's years. I think we need someone, the director of football, with a bit of football knowledge and reading. I think you know who I'm going to say here. Big Nige. Perfect man for director of football between the players and the board. They would actually shit themselves if he was in charge.
Well, yeah, because we would strangle him otherwise, mate.
Yeah. Even Nick Moore agrees with me. See, he knows where I'm coming from.
Well, you know what, Jamie? Like, no matter what you think to Enzo Maresca and his PR merchant, Gillan Ballagay, Gillan Ballagay spoke about this in The Leech. Gillan Ballagay, The Leech. Sorry, I know you've got affinities with him, but
I haven't, so I've got anything with him.
Okay, good. So he spoke in many interviews this year, right? And you know, it's one thing that he said that is so true, right? That Leicester need to just have a complete remodel, basically, of their football and, you know, director of football, department, if you like. So all these big clubs now, and when I say big clubs, you know, I'm not even just on about Man United or Tottenham or Man City. I'm on about like Newcastle as well. Newcastle have implemented now like a director or a sporting director working alongside other people. And, you know, like there's so much to these people that run these departments. Like look at Dan Ashworth, who's been at Newcastle, Brighton. He's now going to Man United. You know, these types of people in the boardroom. You don't need somebody who used to make the beds for the academy players, who you probably know, Shamey. I didn't know this until the other day. He also was a what's it called? A caretaker manager for like once upon a time for Leicester.
Oh, like he took charge for a couple of games. Yeah.
And I'm like, this is like the Walter Mitty. You know Walter Mitty? Have you watched that movie? This is like the Walter Mitty of football, mate. He's like, I'm surprised he doesn't run on the pitch during a match, giving the players a rub when they've got cramp. It's crazy, mate. It's mental.
It is, isn't it? We need someone, that director of football. I mean, look at Jason Wilcox. He's gone from Spurs to not Spurs, Southampton to. Has he gone Man U now? No. Where's he gone? But ex-players. I can't remember where he's gone now, but Jason Wilcox has been signed by one of the big boys as director of football. You need someone with a recent knowledge of football.
United.
Is it United? I thought it was.
Yeah.
And they've gone for the experience. I know Jason Wilcox. He won the Premier League with Blackburn, and he played thousands of games. Well, I don't know how many games he played, but he had the experience. He's got the knowledge of the game. Where Rudkin never played. He was just manager, and it was just academy manager when he started. He got his badges. Whether he's got his badges, I think we need someone that's got the nous to talk to players as a player. And that's what someone like Jason Wilcox, Nigel Pearson would be able to do. And I think that's the kind of person you need as a middleman between the top people and the club and the players, Reader.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it? Is that all we're getting off you?
Well, I don't know. I was just saying, mate. You both been basically saying all the facts, so it's just how it is, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
We just need to get it sorted.
Wilcox played for us as well, didn't he? I know he's not going to. He had a few games. I forgot about that. Yeah. I'm not sure Peter Taylor. Well, Peter Taylor is saying that Nigel could do a good job. Hopefully, that's not Caterpillar that's talking there. I hope that's fan Peter Taylor. I don't think he could do a job as a manager. I'd love him to do a job as the manager, but I think that's a bit above his station now, unfortunately. When we won the league, other teams were looking at us, how well we ran, and now we're like the dog and gun on a Sunday morning, ain't we, Locks?
Yeah, mate. I mean, from the 2 years we finished 5th place, we stood still as a football club in terms of recruitment. We stood still and we made average signings, and then basically teams overtook us. I didn't expect 15 teams to overtake us, but that happened. Well, no, not 15, more like 13 because we finished 3rd from bottom. But and it feels like behind the scenes as well, they've just stood still. I think when we were finishing 5th under Rodgers and things were nice, kind of. I think, Rudkin and Top had their feet up. They were probably on flights to Bangkok and all of this and going to Epsom and Royal Ascot and whatever. And, just not really thinking too much, it seems. But, it is what it is. We're in this mess now.
Yeah. As much as I didn't like Brendan Rodgers, them first 2 years I thought were fantastic. The football was great. Yeah. Then we won the FA Cup and it just went tits up after them.
But do you know what? Do you know what, though? It feels weird, but obviously I know we got top 5 2 years running. But when someone says about Rodgers' football and stuff, I always said it was pretty shit football because I can't even remember all that stuff because it was that bad recently compared to then. I just can't remember how good the football was. I can remember like that goal that Maddison scored against Arsenal to make it, was it 2-1 or 3-1 and whatnot, but things like that.
Against Everton, the penalty.
No, I'm saying that when we were playing well in them years.
Oh, right.
When Maddison scored that ball through the legs and stuff. But I can't remember much of it from how good we were then. Because it was just all bad since then. What are you nodding your head for, Locks?
No,
chat. Somebody in the chat.
Oh.
Go on, put it up. Whichever comment you want to put up.
Well, no disrespect, because I like the guy, right? I like the guy, but the councillor, so he said the world class training ground, 100 million. That's not standing still, and the KP development plans are massive. Also, the development is not going ahead, by the way, because we haven't got enough money for it, and we're going to be in the championship probably in another year's time, right? Because we're going to get relegated again. So it doesn't matter, we're going to have a 40,000 seat stadium with probably, it won't fill out, and the club won't put it to general sale because they never do that, do they? They'd rather. Not
even in the championship, they did it 2 games, didn't they? I think.
Oh yeah, because they want to know exactly who's in the ground and all of this shit, right? So the club is being run horrifically behind the scenes, right? And we heard last year after the relegation, we're going to have a review, we're going to have an investigation. The man who did that investigation is probably Rudkin, so he was investigating himself and he found out, no problems, nothing, no wrongs done. So, the councillor again, like, we are a yo-yo club. Yes, we are a yo-yo club. It seems now, it looked like we were getting away from that for a while, but now we're not. And what if you are a yo-yo club? It doesn't matter if you've got a £100 million training ground. It doesn't matter if you build a development and you build a hotel outside the stadium.
If you've got £100 million training ground, what's it matter? Yeah, what's it matter if you're in the championship?
Yeah.
It's basically a waste of time building it.
What does it matter when you fill the 100 million training ground with shit? Because that's what we've done. That's what we did after the 2 fifth place finishes. We filled it with the likes of Patson Packer and Vestergaard.
Do not start me on that training ground. We should have stayed at Beaver Drive, going through a council estate and looking at how people live instead of going out to Seagrave in the sticks where it looks all nice and posh, the area it is, and you're driving through the countryside. But when you go to Beaver Drive, that's when we've had our best spell at the club. Everything we've done, apart from the FA Cup, part of the FA Cup season, we were still at Beaver Drive, weren't we? Or was that the year after? I can't quite remember when we moved in. But everything we've done and won has been at Beaver Drive.
Yeah.
You're going through that estate behind the back of Banks Cricket Ground, behind the back of there. Great, fantastic. Now you're out in the sticks, in the posh part of Leicester, Seagrave, and everyone's thinking, oh yeah, we've made it. This is easy life. Big swimming pool, everything there, golf course, hotel there, big egos. It's not right.
I called it on Twitter the other week. I can't remember what it was. I think I called it the £100 million all-inclusive lads holiday complex. I think that's what I called it, because that's what it seems to be. And when it's not that, it's a hospital for all the bloody ACL injuries and stuff we pick up. So, it's just baffling, mate. I mean,
didn't half the players live there at one point?
Well, there's hotel rooms. There's hotel rooms. Well,
yeah, but didn't half the players live there when it got to the point where I think they were training overtime and whatnot at some point, and they were saying that they'd actually live in there until
some of them. I think some of them lived there before away games as well. I think some stay. Look, I get what the councillor is saying in terms of, we tried to build some infrastructure and an impressive one at that, because it is an impressive place. However, for me, that has to come after. You have to become that club first before you then build that infrastructure. Like, we finished 5th place twice, and we knew that Yuri Tillemans wasn't going to sign a new contract. We already knew that players were looking elsewhere, and Rodgers might have been poached if he hadn't have got relegated the year after, and all of this. I never saw us as like a top 4, a big 6 club. We were competing with them.
We were overachieving.
We were never going to be that, and I just think that we'd really dropped a bollock spending that money on that training ground when we weren't established as a European club yet. I don't know. People would disagree, and it's fair enough, but I just think
here's a question
for you both. Money.
Here's a question for you both, and this is obviously all depending on how many points we get deducted. Depending what manager we get in, if it isn't Enzo still, do you both think it's always going to be a relegation fight, whatever it is?
Yeah.
Or do you think that we'll actually get like mid-table this year? Because it is only realistic if it's only 10 points. If it's only 10 points, and that's only realistic 3 wins, which I know obviously 3 wins is hard in the Premier League when you've only just come up. But I don't know. I don't know what you think about it. I would say there's no chance we're going to get top 10, but I think there's a chance depending on who we get in. We could
you look at Sheffield United and Burnley. You look at Sheffield United and Burnley. How many points they got? 23.
But then I'd say the team we've got, even with all the people that are leaving, or if they don't re-sign, is I do think we would have a better squad than majority of them anyway.
So, like Scott says, you think we'll be able to achieve the 40 plus points? If we get a 10-point deduction, we've got to get 50 points.
And the rest, 15.
50 points is 55 points is normally about right. Maybe just touching the European place. Normally 6, 7 for life. It is. It's not far off it.
What?
I'm going to look at the Premier League. I'm going to look at the Premier League table now.
It's not far off a European place. Around 55 points is not far off. So we've got to be playing at that standard all season. Remember, it goes down to 7th or 8th, Reader.
Eighth place is 60 points. West Ham was on 52 at 9th.
I wasn't far off. So
I think there's a real possibility that we break Derby's point record, mate, if I'm honest. Sorry.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, with a -10, do we have to get 22 points? Or if we only get 1 point, if we end up on 2 points, does that mean we broke the record?
I'd be surprised if we get a 10-point deduction. I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be 12 or 15. I think they're going to make an example of us.
It'd be an achievement to stay up, wouldn't it, if we got that?
Yeah. Right. On that point, talking about deductions, we're going to leave that for Phil tomorrow night because some of us have got to go work. I've got to give Phil something to talk about tomorrow night, haven't I, Read it?
No.
Oh, okay then. But yeah, Locks. Oh, by the way, Locks, did I do well on Friday in my quiz?
You did. You did very well, mate. Yeah, 22 points.
22. Reedy, what did you get? 18, was it?
19.
No, I think it was a little bit less than that, wasn't it?
It was 18. 18.
It was 8. Trying to sneak in an extra point. So I did what I wanted to do, Reedy. But yes, anybody that wants to join that's watching, does a bit of content for us, or anybody, then get in touch with Locks. Locks.
Yeah, I'll tell you who I want to get on.
Go on then. Tell us your list. Tell us your bucket list of quiz people.
No, I won't get. No, I want Chris LTID on, but he won't because he hates me and I hate him. So unlucky, Chris. And then I'll also Nick. I want Nick Moore. I want Nick Moore. Oh,
Nick's bound to come on. Nick's bound to come on.
I'm going to message Nick. Because I think Nick will beat Reedy and Nick will love that. He'll love beating Reedy.
Everyone will love beating Reedy.
At least I'm not last, mate. That's all that matters.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good thing. All right, then, Locks, we shall speak to you in the week. I'm not putting that last comment up there.
Why not?
No,
Why not?
No.
Why not?
I'm not going to. All right, then, Locks, we shall speak to you later, pal.
That's the most that's the truest one we've.
Oh, what are you doing?
Locks, who did that? Locks, why did you put that up?
That's the truest comment we've had all morning, mate. Anyway.
Right, yeah, then.
We're gonna get.
There's been a lot of people agreeing with you, Locks, so that means they weren't true then.
Say again.
There was a lot of people agreeing with you, so does that mean they weren't true when they were agreeing with you?
Locks is always wrong.
If you agree with me, you're an idiot anyway, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's why nobody wants Carlos Corberan, mate.
Locks flip.
They do.
Yes, and if you want to watch Locks' video, have a look at it on YouTube about Carlos Corberan.
Really seeing the light on him.
I'm not, mate. I'd much rather have Mauricio Sarri, mate.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's going to happen.
We shall speak to you later. See you later, Locks. Be good.
Steve Cooper.
Oh, last words. His last 2 words was Steve Cooper.
Do one.
All right then, Locks. We shall see you later, pal. Be good.
He's gone, mate. He's gone already, mate.
He's not gone already. Right, we shall see you later, mate. Be good.
He's gone. He's not on the screen.
Who's gone?
Locks.
He's there.
Yeah, you said bye to him about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay then. I don't know what you're on about, Reader.
No, you kept saying bye when he was not on the screen.
Oh, okay then. I was saying bye to you, you prat.
Oh, sorry, bye.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're hard work this morning. You are, Locks. You really are. All right, pal. I shall speak to you later. All right. Oh, yeah, I just called you Locks, didn't I? See ya. Right then, that's what it is on it. It's just a mad half hour, but it's been much appreciated. We shall see you next Sunday morning at 9:30 for the famous Aftermath show. So it's ciao, adios, goodbye, arrivederci-ish. If he's still here next week, we shall see. There goes the final whistle. Come on, you foxes.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Everod's, Barlow Blinds, Poker Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Distillers Direct, Hologram, Take Me, Nubian Cow, The Fox's Arms and Rainbows. Run by the fans, for the fans. Follow us on socials at Leicester Fan TV and visit leicesterfantv.com for all the latest news, views and